The vast majority of the floors are general population floors, but the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, an indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very...
$18 million. It's instructive that he's going to have a bail package ready so that if he was arrested, he would have something ready so that he could get out the next day.
Diddy is now the target of both prisoners and the public. According to his lawyer, his condition inside is not good. With the tough reality he's facing, Diddy is reportedly trying to find any way to escape his situation. As you know, the sentencing date has been scheduled for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. A judge has already denied his request for a new trial, which means his conviction still stands as sentencing approaches. But in this video, I will break down something even more shocking that you need to know. Sean John Combs, better known as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or just Diddy, was once one of the most famous and powerful names in music and business. From music awards to fashion lines and business empires, he built a life that seemed untouchable. But today, his story is very different. Diddy was born in Harlem, New York in 1969. His father passed away when he was just 2 years old. Growing up, he faced many challenges, but he always dreamed of something bigger. His determination led him to the music industry, where he started as an intern before working his way up. In 1993, Diddy launched his own company, Bad Boy Records. He discovered and promoted stars like the Notorious B.I., Mace, and Faith Evans. He also began releasing his own hit songs, with I'll Be Missing You becoming one of the biggest tracks of the late 90s. From music, he expanded into fashion with his Shaw John clothing brand, later moving into TV, beverages, and other businesses. At his peak, Diddy's net worth was reported at around $800 million. He lived in luxury, owning mansions, traveling on private jets, and becoming a true icon of success. For many years, he was seen as the definition of wealth and fame in hip-hop culture. Along the way, his career faced many headlines and controversies. There were legal cases, public disputes, and accusations that created a shadow over his reputation. While he denied wrongdoing, the rumors and lawsuits kept coming. In 2024, federal agents carried out raids on his homes, and soon after, he was arrested on serious charges. He was taken into custody in New York, where he was held while his case went to court. He pleaded not guilty, but the court denied him bail, meaning he stayed in detention during the trial. In May 2025, his trial officially began in New York. After weeks of testimony and arguments, the jury announced their decision in July. Diddy was found not guilty of the most serious charges, but was found guilty on 2 counts connected to transporting people across state lines for adult activity. Since July, Diddy has remained in federal custody, waiting for his sentencing. The court set the date for October 3rd, 2025. Prosecutors are asking for more than 11 years in prison, while his defense team argues he should receive a much shorter sentence closer to the time he has already served. His lawyers have also filed appeals, asking the judge to reconsider or even overturn the decision. Did's lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, just dropped a chilling update. He warned that Diddy's life could be in real danger if he's sent into general population. Word is already spreading that many inmates are waiting to get to him because of his past with abusing minors. Former wardens and federal lawyers agree. Diddy has become a main target.
This isn't the only famous inmate to be housed there. We had Sam Bankman-Fried there, R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell. They were all inmates there. Sean Combs is being kept away from the general inmate population. You say his fame makes him a target.
Yeah, sure. And not necessarily at the MDC only. I mean,
anywhere.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population floors. But the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. his incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, an indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target. So, obviously, they need to safeguard him.
This is a man accustomed to the very finest. He was arrested at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City, known for its luxury suites and exceptional food and wine, where one-bedroom suites start at $3,000 a night. He was probably staying in something larger. What is life like for him now at the MDC?
I would say 100% total culture shock. The MDC is, I've used the word austere a lot, but it is. It's austere, it's strict, it's impersonal, it's cold, and it is a very tough place.
Agnello painted a dark picture of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Diddy is being held right now. He described the prison as nothing less than hell. Soon, Diddy could be moved to J-pop, and experts are saying his life will be at high risk there. After failing to get bail 3 times, even offering a huge $50 million house arrest deal, Diddy is breaking under thestrus. His lawyers say they will try for bail again, but no one knows if the judge will ever agree. Inside sources claim Diddy is falling apart behind bars. He's not made for the cold walls and harsh prison life, and his breaking point is getting close. The judge's choice to deny bail until May 2025 came after prosecutors said Diddy was trying to reach out to witnesses from his cell. His lawyers argued he only wanted toe talk, not scare anyone. But
For the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section. There is no concierge, only con men, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad, I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible.
Rumors now say Diddy is asking to be put back on suicide watch. Solitary means 23 hours locked alone every day, which often pushes inmates over the edge. But Diddy knows staying in general population is far more dangerous. If other inmates think he's a pedophile, survival becomes almost impossible. Interview, 4 his lawyers put everything on the table: $50 million in cash, a $70 million mansion, and even family passports. But Judge Aaron refused, saying no deal could make victims safe. Even worse, recordings came out of Diddy using secure prison phones to push victims. Instead of winning freedom, he's now facing even harder eyes on him.
People magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the SHU have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they called his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it, where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on suicide watch.
His lawyers put everything on the table: $50 million in cash, a $70 million mansion, and even family passports. But Judge Aaron refused, saying no deal could make victims safe. Even worse, recordings came out of Diddy using secure prison phones to push victims. Instead of winning freedom, he's now facing even harder eyes on him.
Of unlike anybody else you could imagine. A week after these public searches were televised, he gave us his passport. His children gave us his passport. He then paid off the mortgage entirely on his Miami home, $18 million. It's instructive that he's going to have a bail package ready so that if he was arrested, he would have something ready so that he could get out the next day and show the judge he's taking this very seriously, which he is, which is why 12 days ago, Chris, when we thought there's an indictment that may be coming, he flew to New York the very next day. And that's an extraordinary move for a defendant who's been under investigation that he's been aware of for at least 6 months. He has done everything somebody under investigation can do. I can't think of anything else that he could have done. He's fighting, he's innocent, and he's going to be able to show it.
What do you think about that counter argument? Because his team has said we're going to put together the proposed bail package, a $50 million bond, co-signed by him, his mom, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons. It's going to be secured by the equity in his property in Miami, Florida. Home detention, his passport will be surrendered. The government said that's insufficient. They said, look at the charges, look at the weight of the evidence that I just mentioned. They said they have allegations that he and his associates were trying to tamper with witness testimony last year so that they wouldn't cooperate with the government. What do you take away about who has the stronger argument in terms of bail?
Well, I think his counsel has done the best they possibly can. I think bringing him there voluntarily is very smart, starts them out on the right foot. But I think the last thing that you just mentioned, the interfering with witnesses.
That's the allegation, yeah.
Yeah, if that's true, or I should say, if there's real indicia that happened, I think that might tip the scales in favor of not letting him out pending trial, because I think, and you know this, I think judges take an extraordinarily dim view of that, and that might be the factor that tips the scale against him. But
Report from the Daily Mail. That's why Diddy had a breakdown. A person close to him apparently said, quote, spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him. If we're to believe all this, Diddy had a meltdown in his cell and begged the guards to take him to the hospital for observation, but they refused. This same friend or person told the Daily Mail, quote, he eventually managed to calm himself down with the meditation technique he's been using while he's been behind bars. It took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space he was in, but he finally managed it. This isn't the first time Diddy's mental health has come into question while he's been at MDC. When he first arrived, he was on suicide watch, which the U.S. Department of Justice National Institute of Corrections describes as supervisory precautions taken for suicidal inmates that require frequent observation. Diddy's suicide watch was only temporary, though. He was housed in a special protective unit of the jail after that for the first few weeks of his stay. But Diddy right now is in Gen Pop, meaning general population, the place where majority of the inmates stay. And that's where he apparently had this meltdown over the holidays, at least according to one source.
He's suffering the consequence, and I don't feel bad for him at all. Because people was trying to talk to him. People was trying to tell him. You couldn't pull him by the coat and let him know anything. You understand? They messed up the game, brother. When he put that shit out with them, money, power, respect, it ain't never been like that. It ain't never been like that. You got your respect in the street that gave you your power, that brought you your money. Totally different thing. He let that money, power, and respect go to his head, but he had it ass backwards. So do I care what happened? Nah. He got enough money to buy his way out of this. So we think.
So when you look at that video of him pacing around and he's looking worried, and you knowing him, do you think it's possible that he might commit suicide?
When you're a narcissist, there's always a possibility because you're suffering. But I don't think that he can see himself in a cage. I don't think he can see himself behind those bars in those type of situations. It's too many real dudes that dislike him. But then again, there's a lot of real dudes that need help. And him being behind bars, he could probably help him.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof.
In a shocking twist, his lawyers even admitted that his infamous freak-off tapes are real. But in a strange move, they claim the 9 tapes actually show his innocence. They say the footage only shows wild parties, nothing criminal from Diddy himself. Whether a judge or jury buys that is unclear. His fight is falling apart both inside and outside of prison. Now, reports even tie his ex, Jennifer Lopez, into the case. A man named Cardell Smith claims Diddy assaulted him in 1997 at a Detroit Holiday Inn and says J-Lo was a witness who helped hide it. Smith also says the attack was caught on tape. Cops who raided Diddy's mansion have spoken too. Without sharing every detail, they say the evidence is crushing. One officer said baby oil and tapes were just the start. What they really took was more than enough to hold Diddy without bail. And that's where things are now. Sean Diddy Combs locked up, losing battles in court and in life. Each day brings darker news and his bail chances look weaker. The walls are closing in and the once untouchable star may finally be out of moves. One thing's clear, this story is only just